We got somebody else who's amazing. We were talking at the break. I have known this young lady for 15 years. I cannot believe her twins are 12. I am getting up there. I feel old, y'all. I'm just telling you, I feel old. If you are in Las Vegas and you have not met this woman, seen her perform, y'all behind. This is Alex Starr. What's happening?
Hi.
How are you?
Blessed.
Blessed. Where are you performing now?
So right now I do 2 residency shows, Wednesday and Saturday at Cork and Thorn.
Nice. And I know what your music is, but for the people that do not know, what's your music?
So on Wednesdays we do a live band karaoke, and that's where you guys get to sing with my band. It's never been done before. We're the only one in town that does it, and it's a really cool experience because, you know, when you do traditional karaoke, you like to have fun with it, but how cool is it to have an actual band behind you?
See, I don't think karaoke is fun because you know how I sing. Y'all know how I know all the singers in this town for the most part. And when y'all see me coming, y'all take the mic to the other room. I see how you are.
No, but this is your time to shine. It's not about how good you can sing. It's really about performance. Like, what would you do if you had an opportunity to perform?
I'd walk to the other end of the stage and not grab that mic. That's what I would do. How did you get into performing in the first place?
I kind of fell into it.
Okay.
So when I graduated high school, I had dreams and hopes and plans actually to go to mortuary school.
Mortuary school, excuse me?
Yes.
Why?
So I've always had this connection with death. When I was a little child, I just walked into a funeral home down into the embalming room, and I wasn't scared. It felt like peace.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So why didn't you pursue that if that was part of your mission?
So you ever heard the saying, music is like a drug?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got a hold of that, and bye-bye mortuary school.
He said, bye-bye mortuary school. So when did you first take the stage? When did you know this is my home? Because when you take the stage, okay, we have to do a little PSA. Get to Vegas. 1, Cork and Thorn twice a week. 2, come watch this woman perform. I call her one of my kids. Come watch her perform because when you take the stage, you take it. It's your home. You welcome everybody into your living room, and then you basically take us from church to concert and all of. When did you know that that's what you wanted to do and that's what your heart really felt?
So to be honest with you, I didn't know I really wanted to do it for real until I had kids. It gave a different purpose at that point. Up until I started when I was 16, 17 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So between 17 and 25, it was a cool thing to do. It was something I always said I wanted to do. I said I wanted to always be on the stage as a live band. So I got to live out that dream every single day. But it wasn't until I had kids that I knew this was what I was supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. This is what I wanted to do. And it really felt like home because now it's a different purpose that is being served for my children, something that I'm leaving for them.
Wow. So where do you see yourself? The kids are 12, okay? So we're going to say they're overachievers like you, so they'll be done at 17. Where do you see yourself in when they graduate high school? Are you still performing? Or are we going back to embalming and all of that stuff?
So believe it or not, I'm actually back in the funeral business. I kind of just got back into it. So I am working at a local funeral home in Las Vegas now. And I'm doing both. And I learned to do both because balance is good. It's been strictly music for 20 years, and now I'm going back to something that really felt like home to me in the beginning as well. So I'm learning to balance both of them.
So for a young entertainer who's sitting at home, they're a musician or they're an artist or both, and they're going, oh my goodness, I just want to do stage. I just want to have a music video. I just. How do they get started?
Surround yourself with what you want to do. We can have all types of ideas at home, but if we don't get out there and surround ourselves with the things that we believe in, the things that we want to manifest, it's not going to happen. So whatever town you're in, find your local jam session. If you have to go to the next town, plan it out, save your money, take that drive.
You said plan it out, save your money, take that drive. when you do a music video, you dig in,
Yes.
and you will crank this thing out. I will talk to you on a Saturday. And you're like, tomorrow I'm doing wardrobe, Monday I'm doing a music video, and literally the next Friday I'm watching it on whatever platforms you choose to distribute it on. Whereas other people I know, who will remain nameless, some videos never see the light of day. How do you do that? Just be that focused. How do you see what your video is going to be as you're recording the song?
Absolutely.
Really?
When I'm writing the song, not even recording, when I'm writing the song, I'm already visualizing what the video is going to be like, because 99.9% of the time, the songs that I write are about my life. So if I've already experienced it, I already know what it should look like. I just want to give a much prettier version of it on the screen.
And I introduced you because I have walked past you in public places, and I know you. You're like one of my kids. I have walked past you in public places because you really do change your look a lot. Why?
I get bored.
You get bored.
Yes, I like to, and it's truly for me. I like to just push the envelope with different things that I can get away with, and some things I can't get away with.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on the spot right now because I didn't say this to you earlier, and you can embarrass the heck out of me and tell me no. But we do this Now Honors in Power of Pink, right?
Yes.
I would love for you to come and perform at this thing. Please and thank you, and I'm just gonna say it now.
On the spot it is.
On the spot it is. So you can tell me no kick rocks because we family, or you can say, yeah, I'll be there, and we'll figure it out.
Let's figure out when the date is. We're gonna figure it out.
That's awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, what's coming up next for you? And I'll let you out the hot seat.
So I just released a song called Love is Free about a week ago. So Love is Free is out. Please download it, stream it on all your digital platforms. This song is family friendly, so everybody can listen to it.
Have you done a video yet? No.
I'm not.
Wow. So maybe when you do the video, you come back on the show. We can premiere it on the show.
Yes, absolutely.
I love this kid. Allie Star, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me.
Thank you.
Terry is here. Terry Armstrong, I want to thank you for being a sponsor of International Women's Day. You literally reached out to me on Facebook and said, how can I help? What can I do? You're absolutely fantastic.
It really was an honor.
Oh, thank you
I'm just
so
so
much.
thankful to be able to do that.
And you are moving and shaking. You've got things coming up with Shelley Hipsky, Dr. Hipsky.
Yes.
You got your own book. We're going to show that in a minute. When do you find the time? Where do you find the energy?
Well, you know what? I love what I do, and I'm passionate about what I do. And it's amazing because passion will really take you a long way.
Mm-hmm.
And so really that's what I'm driven by, passion.
You're amazing. So what made you write this book? I'm going to turn it this way because it's on the black shirt. So what made you write this book? What made you say, I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to share the message?
Well, years ago, I said, I'm going to write a book and say, name it, You're Stronger Than You Think.
Mm.
And so I kept putting it off and putting it off. And last year, I talked to my son. He's a motivational speaker, and he's written a couple books. And I said, I want to write a book. He goes, I think you should, and I want to help you. And he goes, but you don't need to name it Stronger Than You Think. I said, well, what would I name it? He said, Figure It Out. I said, why would you say that? He goes, you have said that 1,000 times. You raised
that's a mom term.
Yeah, that's a mom term.
That's a mom term. I love this. So what are they going to find in Figure It Out? Is it not holding for you?
No.
You have to turn it in. There we go. Got it?
Can you hear me now?
Yep, they can
Okay,
hear you.
great.
So what are you going to find in Figure It Out? What are they going to figure out?
Well, when I was young, I was 7 years old, and I was the oldest of 10 growing up. We had 10 kids in our home. My parents took in foster children.
Oh, wow.
I was the oldest of 10, and we had 3 biological, 2 adopted, and 5 kids on a regular basis. We started doing that when I was 7 years old, And our first little boy was Joey, and he was 2 years old. And I had my biological sister and my biological brother that were 3 years younger, 6 years younger. And so when Joey came, I didn't play with dolls. I played with little babies, and I had them on my hip. So I learned to mother and love on kids. And then at the age of 9, when we were to celebrate his 4th birthday, I came home that day and saw him in a vehicle, getting ready to be put in a vehicle with a new woman, and he was crying, and Mom was crying too, and she said, Joey's getting a new mommy today. And so that began to deal with the heartbreak. And so I went from about 9 years old to 12 years old, and just really struggling because kids would come and go. And so I was really stayed a little bit distant from the kids. And I discovered that at 12, my dad didn't like the way that I was acting. And so he came to me and he said, you need to get a job. I said, I'm 12.
My dad did that at 8. I'll tell you later.
What child does what at 12?
Right.
And I could babysit, but that didn't count. And so I said, okay, tell me what to do. And he said, honey, I'm not going to tell you what to do. And you know what 12-year-olds do when they don't get their way. They cry, throw fits. I did all that. And I said, please just tell me what to do. And he looked at me and he goes, no, honey, figure it out.
Wow.
And that's when it started.
Wow.
And in the midst of twirling my baton one day, I decided that I knew what I could do.
What was it?
I could figure it out. In the midst of my figure eight,
Yeah.
I came up with a figure it out formula. I went and got a piece of construction paper. I wrote my phone number down on there with the word baton lessons. I had figured that at 12, all I had to do was repeat what my baton lesson person was doing.
Right.
So I marched myself up to the elementary school, plastered the tape with masking tape, the little sign on the wall. You can't do that nowadays.
Right.
And then came home, and 2 weeks later, I had 6 little girls in my basement.
Oh, wow.
Getting baton lessons. Tigo, I had
Figured it out. You know, before we go further in the conversation, I want to thank you and your family, because I'm an adopted kid, and you provided safe space. So thank you for that.
Well,
you've been figuring it out your whole life.
Yes.
And people like us, adoptees and fosters, we need you. We need you.
Well, you know what? My mother was a woman that was so interested in making a difference in kids' lives. And she wasn't a perfect woman, but it really took a toll on her having that many kids in our home.
Yeah.
And we were taught never to argue. And can you imagine having 10 or 9 siblings and 2 parents and 1 bathroom? You have to have conflict.
Wow.
So it took a toll on my parents, and they ended up getting divorced. The kids went back into the system. And my parents never, they were so busy helping other children that my other 2 siblings never learned the gift of responsibility. And I think that's why I wrote the book, is to tell that story that I used to blame my dad that he made me go to work at 12. And then I figured that that was a gift that he gave me, because my siblings both have passed, my biological ones have passed. And so I want to help people realize that you can figure it out. You can.
What's next for you?
Well, I have, this summer's coming on, and my husband is having some health issues, and so I'm spending more time with him at home. And I had this coming up along with Dr. Shelley's event in March, and I love that organization. And
she was on earlier talking all about Global Sisterhood.
Yes, I'm so privileged and thankful to be a part of the Global Sisterhood. And she's a great representation of women all across the world.
Yes, she is. And I don't think she has a fearful bone in her body.
No. So I think you asked what I'm going to be doing next. My husband's in the process right now of building me a she shed.
Nice.
And so
I need a she shed in my life.
and so,
Will he come to Vegas and build one for me?
no. So he's working on that as I'm out here. And so hopefully I'll be able to have a podcast out there in my she shed.
Well, if you need help with that, you know that
Thank
we're
you.
here.
Thank you so much.
So you're going to be on a cover. We spoke of Global
Yes.
Sisterhood, right?
Yes.
You're a cover girl
I
now.
am.
How
It's
does
so-
that feel? I saw
Yeah.
that cover. You look amazing.
It's really humbling.
Is
You know,
it?
it is, because that's really not what I'm about,
Mhm.
is being out there on, glamour and all that. However, I'm really thankful for the opportunity with the sister Global Hood to be able to help women and empower women, and helping provide sewing machines in India is something that's been closest to my heart.
Wow.
So when I met Dr. Shelley and heard her vision for the seed,
Mhm.
I wanted to jump on board. So as a seed of faith, I planted into someone else's project. And I really believe that if you sow seeds into other people's works and projects, that God will provide for you.
I believe the same thing. You know, what do you like doing for fun?
I love riding on the back of my motorcycle, my husband's motorcycle. I'm a biker chick.
I love it. I've been riding since the 80s. That's amazing.
Yeah, I wasn't always that way until he got his motorcycle, his second one. For some reason, I came home and said, so when are you going to take me for a ride? And he was in shock. And I went in and called my friend and said, Lisa, I have a problem. I think I might either have early signs of dementia or Alzheimer's or something, because I just asked Bill, when is he going to take me on a ride? And she had said, we've been praying for you, that you would get rid of the fear that was holding you back. And, you know, fear is a terrible thing, because you don't think that you have it. But if you're afraid of anything at all, that fear is keeping you held back and keeping you from your full potential.
What advice would you give someone who's going through fear right now?
Well, in my book, I write about figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
The I in it is the idea, whatever the problem is. The T is testing it. And with the I is intercede.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were made in the image of God and in his likeness.
Mm-hmm.
And he has created us to never need to be alone. So I would cast all your cares on God, for he cares for you. And if you're not a person of faith, he still created you to never be alone. That's why you have friends and people you know and parents. So cast that care on someone. And I really believe if we do that it would reduce the suicide rate in our country today.
Well.
Because people feel like they're alone and they can't tell anyone. So I would say that, and then clean up your stinking thinking. Someone told me recently, Zig Ziglar said that. I said,
Yes, he did.
I guess I never read the book, but maybe I should quote him. So there you have it.
Zig's one of my heroes. So before I get you out of the hot seat, I know there's a woman out there watching who has a massive dream. Maybe she wants to write a book. Maybe she wants to stand on stages. Maybe she wants to be a cover girl. But she's terrified of doing it, and she doesn't feel like she has the inner circle to support her in the journey. What advice would you give her? Would you just look at that taller camera and give her a little advice?
Well, you are no different than many of us women out there today. Even those that are in the, me being on the show today, I had a dream of writing a book. And I kept telling myself, no, I couldn't. And so I would just encourage you to just start the first process with casting your care. Share that with someone. Share that with someone. Let them know what your dreams are. Find someone who can believe with you, not in you, but with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then clean up your stinking thinking. Stop saying, I can't, I will never do this. Start saying, you know what? I'm going to write a book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to open up a children's home. I'm going to start planting and providing sewing machines in a remote area for women in India. You can have exactly what we say. We were all created in the image of God, and we all have a little bit of spark in us, of creativity, which, if we use it the right way, we can manifest that which we desire. So I just want to encourage you, don't ever give up. There is someone that you can stand with that can believe in you. And I just want to encourage you that you're not alone. And he does care for you, so cast your burdens on him.
Sherry Armstrong, thank you so much for hanging out with me and coming all this way to just share a little bit of International Women's Day with us. You're absolutely amazing. You guys go out and get her book. And you know what? Go figure it out. You're absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tico. It's a privilege to be here, and I love you. From the moment I met you, you're a gem.
Thank you so much.
So,
I appreciate
thank
that. You're the
Bye-bye.
best. So I met this wonderful woman that's coming up next, who on a cruise ship, the Marketers Cruise, actually. We shared a meal and sat down and talked about the world as it is and women in business. And Katerina is here. Hey, Katerina, where are you in the world right now?
Hi, Tigo. I'm so happy to be here with you. And I am in Stockholm, Sweden, the land of ABBA, you know. So really excited to be a guest here today.
I am so glad to have you here. Thank you so much for being a part of our International Women's Day. Can you tell us a little bit about your business, what you do, and just how cool you are?
Thank you, Tigo. I'm happy to do that. And, you know, like Facebook will do what Facebook will do, right? So we're good. So I'm based in Stockholm, Sweden, and I travel extensively. And I'm actually now in what I call my second career. So I had a career in finance, in big corp, for a number of years. I'm actually trained. I went to the Stockholm School of Economics. So business, finances is really like my lane, also marketing and sales. But then I found myself working like crazy hard for someone else's mission or vision, or really to bring even more money into a company that was already doing well. I was really successful in my first career. However, I was working day and night, and you could hear me at that point saying things like, you know, oh, sleep is for people who are in their grave and stuff like that. So I've been performing and really like overperforming. That was like the model I was born into. So my health took a real hit. So I've been through a massive burnout for years, where you could say that you could say really that like, I don't wish this on anyone, really not on anyone. It was horrible. However, I got the blessing of getting to really know myself not from what like a human doing, not from all of what I was delivering, but really from who I was being, because I could no longer perform. So I just had to ask myself the question, so, okay, like really, why am I here? What am I supposed to do with my life? What's my purpose? What does my soul really want to do? And so from that, I started the business that I'm running now and have been for quite a number of years now, where I support women who are service-based. They are entrepreneurs, small business owners, and they normally, like, they have a dream. They want to be able to live from what they're passionate about. They want the freedom of doing things their way, working with whomever they want, from wherever, whenever. And the reality is that, like, fast forward, even if you started your company with like big dreams and fantastic visions about freedom, many female entrepreneurs today, they struggle. They struggle with finances. They are overworked like crazy. And there's actually, like, you could say that there's a new form of, maybe it's not even new, but poverty is actually an issue for all entrepreneurs, but specifically it's a problem for women. And with my background in finance and money, anything business building, and also I have like a long background in traveling the world and just going crazy with all kinds of, let's call it like anything within personal development, anything within, you could call it sometimes, Tigo, like foo-foo stuff. So, never heard of like a very obscure little course somewhere led by a shaman in the like far parts of Peru? I was probably there. So I've done lots of work with myself, both when it comes to like my personal development, leadership, communication, but also the thing that I see so many women actually lack, and that's like the business building part and the money. Like to have your business work also includes having your finances work, so that you don't only survive from your company, but you can actually live well from it or even thrive. So
You're amazing.
I
You're amazing. Let me ask you a quick question. With
yes,
everything that you do, all the travel that you have, I mean, you go all over the world. I met
yes,
you, you know, on a cruise ship.
yes.
What do you do with fear? Does fear factor in at all, and how do you handle it?
Mm. Oh, fear. This is such a, thank you for this question. It's a really good question, because I hear many times that like other women, like our clients, I work today together with an all-female team, and we serve our clients with group programs, and I'm on stages, I'm speaking. And for instance, just like, taking your place on a big stage. Like one time I was speaking at Latin America's biggest business event. It's called CIBIS, and they have had over 9,000 participants. And so for someone, this could be really courageous, like to have your voice be heard. But however, like for me, yes, I can absolutely get nervous, but it's not brave for me to do something that I don't really fear. So the things that some women may fear, others may not. So fear or like courage, I think comes really from when you have something that you're really scared about. It's a really big thing for you, and you do it anyways. Like you overcome something. So you can really never compare fear. I've been very comfortable actually traveling around the world, and sometimes I have been in situations where I thought like, oh, maybe this was not like, maybe I shouldn't have taken like a right turn over here, of course. But generally, like my fear would really be more of like, that would be more internal. Like my fears would not be like, yes, I like really, Tigo, like when I was like, my first appearance on a big stage, there was all like over 2,000. It was a physical stage, over 2,000 people in the audience. I was almost about to chicken out. I was almost about to go like, no, I can't do this. I will be like a hot, just like I'll fail miserably. There were a lot of really great speakers at that event, and I was on the last day. It was a 5-day thing. So yeah, I've had my share amount of fear, but for me, it's more, I think, been about, to be really honest, like more scary for me has been to be vulnerable.
You're amazing. I want to thank you so much for hanging out. We got to go to the next wonderful woman that's waiting in the wings, but I have got to thank you so much for hanging out. Please come on the show, hang out with us. Let's do a full episode with you. It would be amazing. And, just enjoy International Women's Day. Thank you so much. I
really do. And I'd love to say thank you to all of the women that went before us. I really want to finish with that. I am really aware that I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for a long line of women. We are standing on the shoulders of the women who went before us. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Okay, coming up next is a mentor of mine. I met this woman, whoo, she'll tell me, probably 15, 20 years ago. She's in the Broadcasters Hall of Fame, y'all. She was a VP at Motown, and now she's a part of our family. Hey, everybody, welcome Connie Breeze to the show. What's happening?
Hi, how are
Hey,
you?
Connie!
How
I'm
can I
great.
be
How
your
are
mentor
you?
when you're my mentor?
We'll mentor each other. It's different
That's
fields
a good thing.
of levels. Yeah, we'll do that. You
Okay,
know, how long have you been in broadcasting?
35 years.
What got you into broadcasting?
I came out this way. I always listened to the radio. When I was like 13, 14, we'd drive to Laguna Beach from Michigan, and I would sing every word in the car, and my parents would invite me to fly next time. It was just always, I got to do this. I got to do this. So when I graduated school, I went to a broadcasting workshop and landed in Tucson, Arizona.
Wow. Now
Yeah.
you've been on the radio, you've been, managing and being lead and all of this good stuff. And then a thing came along called COVID. It didn't stop you though.
It didn't.
So what did COVID do to your career? Because the radio stations were closed.
Right. And they were furloughing all of their people. So they let me know they were not going to use my services anymore on a Friday, which was a Martin Luther King Friday. So I said, well, I better spin this to my, positive, because I'd been there 15 years. So I called all the trades and told them that I had so many voice gigs that I was not going to be on terrestrial radio anymore. And then, the guys who I know who've known me for so many years called and said, what do you need? And pretty soon I had a portfolio of stations that I now track for out of my beautiful office, painted with treasure map blue. And I love it. I used to work 75 hours a week. Now I work 12 hours a week.
Wait a minute, we have to go back to painted matte blue. Why did you pick that color?
Map blue. Oh, wait. Treasure map blue.
Treasure map blue.
Yeah.
Okay. So why did we pick this color for this beautiful office?
I had a friend here who was helping me. His name is Trent, and he was helping me to literally clear every space, every drawer, redo my apartment. And he and I walked into the paint store together, and I walked over and I said, that color. He said, that's what I was going to say. So we took it.
With everything going on with AI now, I'm a techie, so I'm all about the AI, all about technology. Now they're dubbing voices and all of that. What does that mean for the future of radio and for legendary broadcasters like yourself?
What a good question. I will tell you that I kind of felt what the future was going to be and kind of thought, maybe this isn't going to work out for me forever. So I am just praying about what it is to do next, how to make an impact, how to contribute. And I'm knowing that, like one of my radio stations went away this week. So, so rather than deny what's happening, or when the night I found out, my husband said, what are you going to do tonight? I said, pout, and then I'll be back tomorrow. And, just started, God drops ideas on me all the time. If I don't try to force it or make it happen, I'll be taking a shower and I'll hear, oh, do this. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm loving doing TV with you.
Oh, I was about to say that. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that and turning up the heat on that. And right now, I'm working with Hilary DeCesar, who I met through you, who is amazing.
She'll be here in a little bit.
She's amazing. And, one of the things that she said to me when I met her in the hallway was, oh, you're just going through a midlife crisis. People just don't tell you women can do that too.
Oh, wow.
And I felt so not alone, I go, oh, there's nothing wrong with me. I just have come to a certain place in life.
So we're doing the Connie Breeze Show, and I'm ecstatic about doing the Connie Breeze Show.
Yeah.
You are bringing legendary artists into the studio virtually or in person that have been burning down the stages for decades and refuse to stop. How
Yeah.
did you get connected with these legendary musicians and artists? And what does it feel like to have your own show?
Um, the legendary artists, I was in old school broadcasting. I ran a station for 15 years. So that really put me with Charlie Wilson, the OJs. You know, I had toured with Boys to Men, just all of those iconic, my dear friend from the Shy Lights. And
Mhm.
so what I have always wanted to do to make an impact is I traveled with these musicians quite a bit. And what I would
Mhm.
hear is the stories that no one else would hear. You
Mm.
know, Eddie Levert's brother passed away, and the same day he had to get on stage.
Wow.
His
I
son
didn't know
passed
that.
away, and he had to get on stage.
Mm.
Um, my friends from the Manhattans lost a family member and had to get on stage. And
Wow.
so I've always wondered how you do that. And it's more than the show must go on.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the show must go on, but I don't know if I could do that,
I,
as a producer and as a host. I mean, crisis happens. The show can wait a second, I think. How do they do that? Did you ever get a chance to ask them?
Eddie Levert cried like a baby all day long, got on stage, did a great show, cried like a baby when he got off. And, you know, and his wife was comforting him the whole time. But I will tell you that my own experience in being in radio is that I've had some things come down the line, even the passing of my mother. And on stage and on the radio, you really have to be in the moment. You
Mm.
have to. And so it kind of gives you a reprieve. You can't think about it. And I think a lot of entertainers get back on stage because that is their medicine at that
Mm.
moment.
Do you miss the mic when you're not on the radio or on television? Do you have that same feeling as an artist that you miss, you got to get connected again?
Yes, I miss, like now I track out of the studio, which means I pre-record breaks for other stations, but I miss the interaction. And I miss when you're talking to a camera, you feel like you're really, you know, connecting with people.
Mm-hmm.
And to fuel my addiction, I host 2 old school cruises every year, just so I can see people and be with people and keep in touch.
What's next for you other than the Connie Bree Show? What's next? I mean, you're already in the Broadcasters Hall of Fame. You work for Motown. You've been on major radio stations for most of your life. What's next?
I'm praying about what's next. I know it's coming. I can feel it's coming. I'm gonna turn up the heat on my show with you because now I got all kinds of people lined up.
Nice.
And then I'll see what else, you know. Theresa, for a while, I was reacting like, oh, I'll go sell timeshares. Oh, I'll go do this. Oh, I'll go drive. And the thing is that I realized is that you don't just power up from being either just indoors or in the studio every day and then just go have an 18-hour day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm really not interested in that. I'm interested in doing things I love. Our show is a blast. And, you know, whatever else comes or feels like I should do, I'll do.
I want to thank you so much for having faith in me, believing in my dream, and just taking the ride with me. You didn't have to, you already had a full plate. And again, I'm just blessed. It's like all these women today, especially you, I call, you guys come. And that is just a blessing. I'm so glad you're part of the Now family and you're
Me
out with
too.
us for that, and I can't wait to see what's next on our Yellow Brick Road. You are absolutely amazing.
And you as well. And I love you.
Love you too, kid. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Thanks for hanging out.
All right. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
She makes me love numbers, even though I was a math major when I was a younger kid, in a whole nother way. She's got a spirit that lights the room. And I'm going to tell you, she loves everything that we do and being a part of our family so much and supports me so much that when she hears something, sees something, she calls me and says, hey, when do you need me to come over? Cindy Van Item is here. What's happening, Coach?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. 4 years in a row, Tigo.
4 years in a row. Are you going to do 20 years? Are you going to do it as long as I do it?
You're stuck with me.
Okay, so before we get started, tell me what's going on with my numbers because this tech stuff, you know I love tech, but today I am literally ready to go back and be a restaurant manager.
Yeah. So right now we're in an energy where we are being tested in our relationships, and relationship is about money, your body, your health, and technology. We're also experiencing some really intense energies right now that are disrupting the physical planet. Solar flares, there's all sorts of things going on, and it's affecting tech. I mean, Facebook, social media went down a few days ago. There's been all sorts of things that are just disrupting. And unfortunately, Tigo, I don't know that it's going to get better. I think that over April, we might have a lot of disruptions, but after April, it should calm down, I hope.
But Coach, we got a message from Facebook, literal message today that said you move too fast. We put Facebook on three. There must be at least 100 million computers on Facebook right now.
Yeah.
We put it on 3. It said you move too fast and we're temporarily suspending you or blocking you for 24 hours.
Yeah.
On International Women's Day.
Right. Yes. So there are all sorts of reasons for that. I don't want to get into a lot of them, but Facebook itself is going through some upgrades right now. And so we're seeing this with technology. It's not just Facebook. There's other tech that's not working very well either. The disruption is intentional. It's meant to help us to develop a deeper relationship with ourselves. Right now, we're experiencing an energy of the two, which two energy is about relationship, and our relationships are first and foremost defined by our relationship with our own heart. And so it's giving us an opportunity to look within and go, okay, am I willing to step up for my dream even if Facebook isn't going to support me? Am I willing to step up and believe in myself and keep moving forward even if this isn't working, that's not working, I'm frustrated with that? Because the relationship with yourself and your dream is what keeps you moving forward. Your relationship with Facebook can pivot and change and do all sorts of things while you get blocked and whatever else happens. But you, Tigo, have found a way to make it work today. I couldn't find you on Facebook. I went to YouTube and there you were. So you didn't give up on your dream today.
Thank you, Coach. I'm trying to, stay the path as you like us to do, stay the path. So what's going on with you now? Because you're having an amazing year. Went to Mexico without me, but that's okay. You're having an amazing year. What's happening?
I feel like I've had an amazing year and a half and it just keeps going. I think it has a lot to do with really choosing to own my own sovereignty and stepping out of a relationship that I was in for over 7 years, a spiritual mentorship that was pulling energy from me. And the moment that I walked away from that relationship and stood in my own power, everything got better. So we filmed a movie about a story of my life, Tigo, together. I got engaged. I became a homeowner. I have traveled to Mexico and Vegas and multiple other places on the planet. I am about to be featured in not one, but 2 documentaries, maybe a third. I think there's something else happening. And what else? 10x best-selling author from a book from Pursuit 365 just recently, 3rd-time best-selling author in that series of books. It's just, let's just keep going.
And that was just on Tuesday. No, I'm totally serious. You are doing amazing. Yes, we did this short. I want you to know that it is edited and it is getting scores. So just so you have an update of what's going on with your film. Okay, So you're doing all of this, and everything is just gelling the way you want it to gel. But right now, somebody's watching, and it's not gelling for them. What
Mhm.
advice would you give them? How do they get started? What should they do? Because right
Yeah.
now, the chaos is getting them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's noisy out there and there's a lot of chaos and there's a lot of disruption and it can be frustrating. And you look at somebody who's doing well and you're like, yeah, but I don't feel like that. First and foremost, pay attention to things that light you up and don't pay attention to things that bring you down. Manage your environment. Notice who you're hanging out with. Notice what you're consuming. Are you consuming an all-day streaming event with powerhouse women, or are you consuming a Netflix binge with a show that just drains you? Pay attention to the food you're consuming, the entertainment you're consuming, the people that you're hanging around with, because you get to decide what you surround yourself with. You are in the driver's seat of your life. Even if it feels like you're at the whim of the external environment, you are the one who decides who you hang out with, what you eat, what you watch, what you're paying attention to. And then from there, you can start to learn techniques where you learn to manage the monkey mind. You learn to shift your emotional state. You learn to activate different frequencies in your environment that allow for greater experiences. And please know that it does not happen overnight. I've been doing this work for 7 years. I'm an ex-cocaine addict. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a practice. It becomes a lifestyle, and you just get better and better and better as you go.
What about fear? You know how many people are watching right now and they're going, yeah. I see all these amazing women. They're doing this, they're doing that. Tigo is sitting on stage, literally putting out fires with a cup of water. And, but I'm terrified to even get started. What about fear?
Yeah, I've never met a single human on the planet who doesn't experience fear. It's how you choose to respond to it that's the difference maker. Michelle Mraz actually said to me once, she said, the pathway through to what you want is on the other side of the fear. And so I have learned to just head first, just dive right in. And honestly, fear is scarier before you take action than it is afterwards. If you ever talk to somebody who's jumped out of a plane, the panic and the fear and the anticipation and the expectation of what's going to happen creates a story in your head. And you're just like, and you just end up in anxiety and you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then you jump and you're like, it's beautiful. Now, I've never done a skydive before, so I'm not speaking from experience, but that's kind of the sensation when you do something scary. It's terrifying until you do it. And then the moment you do it, you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad.
You're amazing. You're my friend. You're one of my coaches. You got me to love numerology, and you know me. When we first met, you reached out in a group that we were in together, and you're like, hey, I'd love to be on your show. I'm on the other end going, huh? What do I know about numerology? Talk to our business partner, and she's like, you've got to have her on. Okay, best choice we ever made. I'll never navigate without you. I thank you so much for being in my corner, for being my friend, and, your mom for being my sister. Tell her I said, hey, give her a hug from me.
Mom.
You're the best. You're the absolute best.
Thank you. You are too. That's why I love this community so much. You're just incredible what you're doing in the world. I mean, 4 years in a row, you sit and stream all day long. Not too many people would be willing to pull through on that kind of commitment. And it just shows how much you care and how much this community means to you. And I just love you.
I love you too, kid. I'll talk to you real soon. And I think we're due for a quarter or something. We got to talk about what's coming next, right?
You betcha.
Absolutely. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for hanging out with me.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. What's happening, Coach? Woo!
Nothing really, but you're happening.
What are you up to? What's going on? I mean, you look fantastic. What's happening?
Everything and everything. What's happening? Just having fun. taking care of myself, taking care of my clients. You know, I heard this morning about what you know you need to share. And once you share it and they know it, it's on them. So that's what's going on. I'm saying, oh, that's good. Because I'm going to share what I know with you and everyone else. And then it's going to be up to you to make it happen.
So what does age amazingly mean to you?
It means everything to me.
Yeah.
At age 66, almost 67,
66, yeah.
I am excited because that's, I believe, God's plan for us to age amazingly. And what does that mean? That means that you're going to age with vigor, with vitality, with strength, with power, with great things, just nothing interfering with you being 100% in the best you. That's aging amazingly. Being the best you all the time.
Now, for you guys, you know that she's going to be honored this year at the Now Honors. But then on top of that, she was at the Now Honors last year. And I said, you know what, I'm going to get my head out my butt, and I'm going to take care of myself, and she's going to help me. And she said, yes, let's go. And I didn't. I didn't. I kind of actually got worse. We just did a test a couple of days ago. I'm physically, I'm like, my age is 60. I'm physically 67, y'all.
No, internally.
I could file for Social Security or something now. And we're not going that way. So we have made this shift. Her husband, who is like a brother to me, that I love him, but I can't stand him, he is all over my case. And you guys are going to start seeing a change because, yeah, I don't want to be 70 before I'm 61. I don't want to be 70.
I don't want you to be 70 either.
So what does that mean? You put me on a body scan machine that's brilliant, right?
It is
and
brilliant.
it didn't put needles in me or anything, y'all, but it did test. And when it did those tests, it came back and told me, like, the bad fat, the good fat, which there's too much fat, don't ask us, okay? What is that machine doing, and why do you use it?
We use it because it's accurate and because we are very serious about working with our clients from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can look at a person and make a judgment.
Mm-hmm.
However, you should measure that person. As we say at Age Amazingly, you cannot manage what you don't measure. You have to measure so that you can manage. And this body composition scan is going to tell us the truth. We don't like to hear the truth, but it's good to hear the truth, and it's going to share with us our internal age, which is where metabolic disease begins, not the outside. And then it's going to break it down with subcutaneous fat, visceral fat. This is all science, all science-based. It's going to give you your muscle mass, and at 66, and you're going to get there.
Yeah, look at my muscle mass at 66. Look at mine at 6. Yeah, I'm not even going to do that. No.
Right. But the point behind this technique is to inform us. How is your skeletal muscle doing?
Okay.
Because it's necessary. It is so necessary so that you know when you fall, you could bounce back. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes we fall and we can't get up. No. Mm-hmm. We don't want to fall and cannot get up at age 60, 66. So we want to fall and get up and not be hurt. And your skeletal muscle will help you do that if you take care of it. If you make sure that you are getting the proper nutrition, getting the proper strength training. Strength training is going to build your skeletal muscle, your bone composition, and reduce your fat. Get it out of the way. What's our mantra?
Fat burn, burn fat.
Fat burn, burn fat, because the fat is going to burn by itself when you give it the tool to burn. So
I'm blessed to have Coach Doris in my life, sitting here next to me and on my butt pretty much all week long to get up and get moving. What if someone is watching right now and they're maybe not even in this country? Can you still help them?
Oh, yes. Absolutely, we can, because the method of our monitoring and checking from the inside out, we have labs all across the country, and soon enough out of the country, but right across the country, these basic metabolic tests that we do can be administered elsewhere. And then we have a meal, because food is essential, nutrition is essential. And that is something that my husband, being a medical holistic nutrition individual, I said it wrong, and we're live.
That's okay.
Yes, I got to fix it. Yes. Anyways, oh gosh. Anyways, he and I, we put together meal prescription, workout prescription, because we treat our business, age amazingly, like a doctor would treat a patient.
Without the needles.
Without the needles, yes. Yes, without the needles. Yes. So we do it that way. So if you're across the country and you need us, we're here available for you to start from the inside out and then work outward and get it done. And simple things like drinking water.
I was going to ask that, how important is water?
Water is critical.
Why?
Why? Because your body's made up of water. It is. It's like 70% water. You need water, hydration. You need proper nutrition. You need movement. You need sleep. You need, absolutely important, is sleep. You need your mind just to rest. All those things are critical with your health.
So before we get out of here and I let you go on about your wonderful day, give me 3 tips for someone who's just getting started, who's been eating all wrong for a really long time. What's the first 3 things they need to do to get moving, other than, of course, call you?
Well, take out processed food. Processed food is not something that you should involve yourself with at all costs, as much as you can. We know we're busy lives. But processed food, drinking enough water, and just walking. You know, I'm from Panama, and just was there. And walking is everything. Mm-hmm. You walk everywhere. We don't have, they do have cars and fancy cars, but walking. So those 3 things for us, well, you can do great things for your body. If you drink enough water, movement, eat properly, and just start slowly removing your processed foods.
What does International Women's Day mean to you?
It means everything. It means everything to me as a woman first, a woman from another country, coming here to the United States and building a career in corporate America, building a business now with my husband, and teaching the next generation, my daughters, my grandchildren. And if we get one day, I'll take it and celebrate it. Celebrate women. A lot of us say, oh, women, we can't get along. Yes, we could get along. Yes, women can get along. And we could do well together and move mountains. And each of us can teach the other woman, the old women, it says this in the Word of God, old women teach the younger women. So teach each other, respect each other, love each other, communicate with each other. You know, and my 8-year-old granddaughter, she's getting it.
That's awesome.
You know?
That's amazing. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for jumping in the hot seat a few minutes early for me and dealing with all our tech stuff. You're absolutely amazing, and I promise you, Coach, I'm listening now.
She is, actually. I saw it in her eyes.
I'm listening now. I thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
I love you.
Awesome. A good buddy of mine, I recently met her in Houston. She's got an amazing vibe. She's definitely in sync with the universe, and she's moving and shaking mountains. Big Maury, are you out there?
Hi. Good afternoon to you. Happy Women's Day to you.
Happy Women's Day to you. Can I have you turn your volume down just a little bit?
Absolutely. Is this better?
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much. So you're in sunny Miami, right?
I am. Sunny Miami, where
You
it's
know,
summer
for the people
all year long.
for the people that are looking at 14-degree weather right now, what's the temperature in Miami?
Right now, it should be around, I would say 87. It's fun out here.
87. Mm-hmm. 87. Okay, I'm not going to tell them exactly where you are because they'll come and get you.
You should come on down.
How? Where are you originally from?
Originally, I'm from Panama. My
Okay.
parents are Colombian, and I grew up between both countries. Yeah, and then we actually, when I was 8 years old, due to my father being murdered in my
Ooh.
country, we came to live. My mom and I, I'm an only child. My mom and I, we came to live in United States, in New York. So I grew up in New York.
Oh. You grew up in New York. That
Yes,
had to be an entirely different life than living in Panama, growing
woo!
up in New York. And now Miami. You know, what does that feel like? Because you're experiencing all these different cultures in your life.
Yes. So it was, a revamp as an 8-year-old child getting there. And, after experiencing something traumatic, my mom said, hey, listen, we got to make it happen. So new culture, adapt to new language. This is the new life. And this is it. We got to make it happen. So, I'm grateful. Today I can look back and say everything happens for a reason. That was amazing. Yes.
You know, I know you have a love for finance, you have a love for business, you know, you work with some of the biggest leaders around in business. How did you get into business? How did you get into finance?
So immediately after high school, I was looking for a job, and my mom said, "Well, you need a 9 to 5 if you want to, continue going to school and everything." And she said, "I know somebody at the bank. You should try it." And I said, "I don't know. I don't know if that's for me. At that age, you don't even know what you want for some of us." And I said, "You know what? Let me try it." And when I tell you that just sparked something inside of me, numbers spoke to me. It was just a different world. I initiated at the age of 20, and 18 years later, and 9 excellent positions, I became a bank executive. And I knew that the banking career was going to give me the tools that I needed in order to later on down the road become a successful entrepreneur. But 2020 happened for me and the world.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
So
Little
when
thing
that
called COVID.
happened, everything just switched.
You know, and it's like we don't talk about COVID as much as we did. Who wants to? Because what we went through. But people are still experiencing COVID. They're still getting sick from COVID. You know, it's still around us. It's kind of like the flu. I guess it's never going away. How are you handling that as a mom? Because I know you're also a mom. You know, how are you handling putting your kids out and saying, okay, you know, just be careful because we're not even wearing masks anymore.
It's crazy. But to tell you the truth, people get a lot of sunlight, dedicate your life to God. He will protect you. Furthermore, a good nutrition and a strong mindset really helps. I mean, you know, to be honest with you, when I got COVID, we didn't even know what was COVID. The doctor's like, I don't know, sleep it off. I don't know what to tell you. It's maybe a flu, but you're negative. So yeah, I don't know what it is. And I remember my oldest daughter at that point, she said, you know what, mom, don't worry about it. Just, be strong minded and we're going to get through it. The four of us were in the weekend on the couch looking at each other, just my husband, my two daughters, and I just trying to help each other out through it. But we went through it, thank God. So obviously, a strong mindset, nutrition is key pointer, sleeping and just be in love, supporting one another.
Absolutely. And we all went through that. Oh, you know, from now on, there'll be stories before COVID, after COVID. It is always going to be a part of the conversation. Now that you're in finance and you're doing such amazing work, how important is it to have your dollars in order in your business, having the right people such as yourself helping you with your business? Should you just, I used to have a T-shirt that says, "I can't be out of money. I still have checks left." Should you have
Right.
things in order or just have fun with your money when you're in business?
I know, right? So, funny enough, after 2020 and my family needed me, I needed time. I needed to free up the time from being a bank executive. I said, I have to revamp myself and see what I'm going to do. And at that point, just the universe, God, a perfect plan, got me with the right partner. And he said, you know what? We should open our own bank.
Hmm.
And I said, how are we going to do that? I mean, that's interesting. I never thought about that. Today, we have our own fintech, a successful fintech, and we're helping many, many users and businesses succeed financially. And it's all within that 18 years of background, along with the technology that we have today. That's the speed of light.
Wait a second. Your business partner, me and my business partner, we talk about what's for lunch and we can never figure that out, okay? Your
I hear
business
you.
partner said, "Let's open a bank." And you said, "Okay, it's a Tuesday. Why not? Let's do that." Can you really, as an individual, open your own bank?
Absolutely. We have our own fintech. Yes. We
So what
provide
is that?
solutions. Mhm.
What services do you offer with your own bank? I mean, that's huge on International Women's Day. What do you offer?
Okay, so we offer remittance services, pay-in and payout solutions, merchant services, a turnkey solution for brokerage, among other things. So it's just mass payout, business cards. I mean, you name it. And we
That's
have it's phenomenal how things, God's plans are just perfect, Tino. They
And
are.
who's your right foot client? Who are you looking for your bank? Who's your right fit client?
Businesses, businesses that would like to basically have their own BaaS solution, their own bank, if you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
They will be able to get their own corporate cards, their own e-wallet platforms. They're able to transact in 137 different currencies.
Wow.
And we're able to also transact crypto. So we
Wow.
transact from crypto to fiat, fiat to fiat, crypto to crypto. So fun stuff.
Right now, there's somebody looking. It may be a young lady, it may be a young man, and they're in a different country, and they're wishing that they could sit in Miami in 87-degree weather and talk about having their own bank. What tips would you give a young lady or a young man that's just dreaming right now of being where you are in 10 or 15 or 20 years?
Don't give up on your dreams. Continue. There is a perfect plan for you. You were born for a reason. So just don't give up. Continue, be perseverance, work hard, and eventually everything's going to line up and you're going to shine and you're going to shine bright.
I know you got amazing stuff coming. You got a big project that we just had a meeting about a couple of days ago. I don't know if you have freedom right now to be able to talk about that, but you can share a little bit about it.
I can, definitely.
Awesome. Okay, so this whole system, we're so excited that we're going to be a part of this and just be able to help people kick their business off literally with an email and a name.
That's it.
Right?
Turnkey
An
solutions.
email and a name. What is this system and what are you guys doing?
So this system is called Sites. That's spelled SI, the number 7, ES, sites.com. And basically, it's a turnkey solution for e-commerce. It is a chamber of e-commerce where businesses will be able to have their own online shop. They would be able to provide either products or services. We are able to do drop shipping for them. I mean, sky is the limit. Everything is verifiable. So we want to make sure that any business and or user that register is for certain. We like to do business. We like to have fun while we do business. And so we don't have time to waste. Besides that, the business is going to have a business directory. So let's say, hey, I need Tigo services, right? Let me just log in and I see everything that Tigo does in the business profile. And hey, Tigo has an e-commerce. Oh, but she actually have 200 other e-commerce. Let me look into this. And everything would be under one umbrella, organized. It has sales funnels where you would be able to be in every platform. And we are able to, be in Google Ads, Instagram, Facebook, the whole world will be able to see your online shop.
That's amazing. So it's an actual shopping cart, an actual shopping system. You don't have to connect with other shopping systems. You can go directly with this one, right?
Correct.
Did I get that right?
That's correct.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's amazing. To your business.
So does it matter what size business you are, or if you have a business at all? Can you sign up and start a business using your service?
You can, as long as you know the business name. You just click enter. It's a turnkey solution. That's it. Your life. Let's sell. And if you don't have products, we have products that we can actually add to your e-commerce shop.
Okay, before I let you get out of here, I got to ask you, what do you do in Miami for fun?
Spend time with the family, go to the beach, go to every restaurant out there the girl likes to eat. Miami's a fun place. It's home. Dear to my heart.
I love it. I love it. You are the best. I appreciate you. I'm so looking forward to the future of what we have coming. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on International Women's Day.
It was all my pleasure. Thank you. God bless.
You too. Bye-bye.